Good day, welcome back again to our class Excel for Beginners. Today we are going to be talking about copying, cutting and pasting. But before we do that, we are going to be looking at some shortcuts that we can use in doing all those things. Remember, we are in the module managing data. So we have some shortcuts for data movement. So that's what we want to see. So we are going to ChatGPT, our comrade and our helper in such a time like this, and we are going to be looking at common controls for navigating between cells and the rest of moving data again in Excel worksheet. So here we are. I just typed a command. Sorry I didn't do it while you were here, using shortcuts for data movement in Excel, right? And first of all, it talked about navigating cells. We have done this using the arrow key, control arrow key, to jump to the last filled cell in any direction, in the direction of the arrow key. So we have talked about the home key to return to the beginning of the row, control home, to move to the first cell, that's A1. Control N moves to the last cell in the worksheet. So we have actually dealt with this when we are getting familiar with Excel. So that's part of our modules. Now for what we are talking about, these are the shortcuts, the keys, the shortcut keys that are important to us. Now we have the shift plus arrow key. Now this can be used to extend selection by one cell. Now shift plus arrow, control plus shift plus arrow key, select to the last filled cell in any direction. Control plus A selects all data in the current region. I've told you about this before, but we are going to practice it again. Now let's practice this so you will understand what this means. So let's go to our worksheet. Now this is where we are. Now I select this student ID. I press on shift and then right arrow key. The selection extends to maths. I push again, it extends to English. Now if I use control shift and then the right arrow key, it selects everything that has to do with this student, right? It selects all those things. So that's the difference. Shift plus arrow key just adds one more cell to the selection in the direction of the arrow that you pressed. While control shift dot arrow key adds the entire line of data to the end of the filled cell in the line of arrow that you pressed. So while this is pressed, I'm going to press shift dot downward arrow. It's now selecting down. One more step, it's selecting one more row down. Now if I hold control shift and then down arrow, it's going to select the entire thing that's remaining, right? So these are quick methods of selections and navigating possibly through Excel or when you are dealing with data. Now we have talked about this through, of course, we have talked about 1 and 2. Now control A, this is very easy. I'm going to zoom out because of what we want to achieve. So yeah, I want to zoom out to this point. Now if I hold control and A here, it selects this region where my data is, right? It is different from when I click here. What connects all these points in Excel, like this is like a neutral cell. So this region within this place is going to be all cells. So if I click Control A from that point, it's going to select everything entirely. But if I am in a region where there is the data filled in and I click Control A, it selects only that region of that data. I thought about this thing at some point, I think, when we were talking about navigation of Excel too. So that's basically that. Now I want to delete this, though not necessarily. Let's continue. Now what else? We are still on the shortcuts. Let's go back to ChatGPT. Now in copying and moving, Control C, basic Windows key, is to copy. Control X is to cut. Now when you are copying, you leave the original data where it is and then you go to paste. When you are cutting, you are moving the original data to a new location. So there are two different things. Why Control V is to paste. We are also going to practice this one because it's going to look a bit strange, but we'll look at it now. But let's do this three first. Now I am first of all on Excel now. And let me say there was an error in geography. This guy didn't really get 100, right? Or no, this person didn't really get 44. The person's score was actually 55, right? So Control C copies, and you can see a dotted line around the cell showing that it has been copied. Now I use Control V to paste it. It's now 55, right? But that's different if I come back to this one and do Control X. This is cut. It wouldn't take impact till I have done Control V. It moves it. Now this is an empty place. So that's the two different methods of moving data around. But just note that Control X is to move the data from an existing location to another location, while Control C is to copy, to duplicate the data, what is in a cell, to another cell. So I can copy, go to another cell and go and paste. I can cut, which means I'm actually moving, go to another cell and go and drop it. Now the next one is we have already done this three, so Control drag with mouse, and let's see what happens. Now I hit Control and I click down. I hit Control and I click down. I can't even know what it's doing. So let's see what they said it does. Control drag down with mouse, move or copy selected data. If you hold Control, it copies instead of moving. Let's see. This is actually a new learning for me too, this particular one. Control, I'm holding Control now, I'm dragging. Okay, yeah. Okay. I get it. Excel is very crazy. So now let's hit Control, click and drag down. This is like a selection. So, but I hit Control, drag down, but nothing happens. Wow. So click Control. That worked, but I don't know how that worked. Okay, so I will have to pause this for now. I need to get what this is about. It's really strange. I don't know. Or it could even my keyboard is malfunctioning, because okay, I'm clicking, it doesn't work. I hold Control, I click, it doesn't work. I hold Control, click, I move Control, it doesn't work. Hold Control, click, I move, it doesn't work. Hold Control, click, it doesn't work. So how does it work? Okay, let's see. That's normal. That's not it. That's not it. Okay, so I think I know what is happening. I know what's happening. You can imagine. Excel is interesting. So, I was stuck. Now, the problem is not to click within the cell. The problem is to click at the edge of the cell, right? So, if I hold Control and I click at the edge of the cell, the mouse literally turns. I click and I move it. You see, it's already moving. Now I took it from 51. I'm at 56 now. If I leave it, it has changed to 51, right? So let me undo that. Okay, I've undone. So if I click it again, it's copying. Now, but if I want to move, I'll just hold Control, click it, and I've left my Control. I dropped it at 56. If I say okay, it's moving, right? So that's actually a new learning for me, but that's crazily that's interesting. So that's that. So we have learned it. Now we are going to be talking about inserting and deleting Control plus and Control minus. That's what we are going to be doing in our next class. We took some time here to do some learning. It's all right. See you in the next one, guys.